Hi. Oh, somebody's here. Oh, what's the matter? Who is here? Oh. We'll start over. Do. Try this again. Oh, Justin's here. What's the Mattel? Joe the Ho. What strange noises? Explain yourself. That's all that comes from me. Strange noises. That's all I got. All right. Yeah, we're actually live. We are cooking today, if you can call it that. We're doing Tweekah Burritos installment number 3. Kind of hinted at this the other day. Let's get this out of here. So today we're going to do the full-on tweak version. I think tomorrow we'll do the deluxe version of essentially the same recipe. So I'll just let a few more Tweekahs stumble in. My apologies, I cannot get this in horizontal mode. I tried on 2 different devices. I do not know what the fudge is up with that. I do not want to be streaming this kind of content. Oh, looks nice. Perfect. Just best. Oh, super. All right. Sometimes when I try to go live, I'll use one device to stream horizontally or to shoot horizontally. Country beef vegetable Alpo sounds delightful. Sometimes it doesn't work on one device, but it'll work on the other device. And this time, it only wants to go in vertical, so I guess we're stuck with that. So the other day, I was telling you when I was back in university, I used to go to this Greek place. It was Greek owned anyway, but they'd have like chicken souvlaki, pitas, and great breakfasts and good burgers. And in the gyros that they would make, they threw French fries in there. So that got me thinking. I want to recreate that recipe, but not today. We're gonna do the full-on tweaker version today. And so get your pens and pads of paper and get ready to write down this recipe. Daily in the house, Dad's in the house. A super 6-hour burrito? I hope not. JM, welcome. Winifred Martinez is here. We got some Alpo fans. Justin representing Larata, and Larata to you too. So this is definitely a Larata approved recipe. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that without submitting requests to HQ. But yeah, I went to the local groceteria and picked up some ingredients, and we're gonna construct a Tweekah Burrito Delight And so let's get started. So this is actually more of a pita wrap. And I actually didn't find, correct that, I didn't look for pita wraps. So we're going to use these bad boys, which are the in-house baked thin pizza crusts for our wraps. I gotta get let's get the receipt so we can let you know what all this costs. If you're budgeting for for some Tweekah cuisine, gotta let you know how much all the ingredients are costing. So let's see. So the wraps or the pizza pie crusts were $5.79. Ooh. That was kind of a big financial hit there. And so these are 12-inch crusts. This package has probably 6 of them. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4 crusts. So we can do 4 Tweekah burritos here. I was supposed to say the weight on it. Well, whatever. These are the in-house baked stuff. Rachel Arnold, welcome in. What else did we find? What else is going into this recipe? Like I said, stay tuned. Tomorrow we might do the deluxe version. Can you convert to real money? So $5.79 Canadian is approximately $1.25 American. And yeah, before we get too far, we got to get some product placement in because this is another part of the recipe. Wasamatau knows all about the sausage fests. Actually, episode 5, we're going to do some sausage burritos. And so, yeah, I figured we're going to do a chicken burrito today. So I went down to the local A&W. You got A&W in the States, right? So I grabbed me a combo with a root beer and some of their finest chicken strips. So a 3-piece chicken strip combo. And I also got fries, but we're not going to include the fries in this recipe. We're gonna do a little. We're gonna tweak it a little bit, just a Tweekah twist. But this was the ungodly amount. So for 3 measly strips, a little bag of fries, and a drink, it was like $15 or something. Egregious. And so we gave these a little sprinkle with their special seasoning at A&W. You don't have A&W in Portland? Well, that's a shame. And so as I was looking to assemble this delight that you're about to see. Yeah, that's what I said. What? I was looking at the frozen chicken strips they had at the grocery, but those aren't any good. So I figured I'd go get some gas station chicken fingers or chicken strips or nuggets or something. Because I'm thinking with the Tweekah in mind, right? And so like how can we make this as accessible to the Tweekah in your life, or maybe you are the Tweekah in your life that needs to be fed. So we got to get into this this bag of pizza crust here. Let's see. I have a knife here. Oh, I got my trusty accessory wallet for, I guess this is a case, a prison wallet accessory case, if you want to think of it that way. So we're gonna slice this open. Grab one of these bad boys. So it's nice, nice spongy, soft, doughy kind of creation. Then we're going to take the chicken strips and we're going to give them a little sliceroonie. Just break them up a little bit so they're not in whole chunks. Damn, I wish I had the overhead camera going. I wish we had the budget for that. I'm just cutting up these chicken thingies. Welcome in, Mr. Osgood. Hope you brought your appetite. Hope you brought a tweaker with you. So there we go, like, just kind of arrange them on the pie here. A little bit like so. So we got our 3 pieces of chicken strips. Oh, they smell good. Dad is already calling it a 6-hour burrito fest. All right, so again, wanting to make this as accessible to the tweaker in your life, Tweekah. Want to have stuff that tweakers would typically have on hand. So what I did grab since I was at A&W, they had these little packets of Frank's Red Hots. Frank's, if Frank's A&W, if you're needing some sponsored content, you really need to get a hold of me, so ASAP. So we're just gonna empty one of these packets. So this was free, no extra charge. I declined the dipping sauce. Maybe if you're a tweaker that has some presence of mind that you would prefer some other type of sauce, feel free to change the recipe up a bit. But I figured we're gonna fully tweak out and use as our sauce, which I have, and you can typically get this substance here, ketchup, at your fast food establishment, but I figured I'll just use the stuff I have at home. Yeah, dipping sauce probably would have made it even more. I figured I didn't want to go there. Now keep in mind, we still have French fries in here. That's going to be my appetizer. So I figured for the... Oh, I forgot an ingredient. Here we go. So we want to zip it up a bit. Ketchup is just kind of not enough. For a Friday. So we're going to make some chopped onion, throw it in there. So get some chopped onion. Is that chicken marinades in the Frank's hot sauce. Make sure that cat doesn't come scallying around looking for snacks. So we're just, this part too, you're gonna have to gauge whether you can handle this level of cooking skill in chopping an onion, or the tweaker that you're going to share this recipe with has the capability, but we're just using a kitchen knife. Would you like dipping sauce? No, I would like to pay $4. So we're just going to use a little less than half of this thing, so about that much of an onion. We'll chop them up. Not too fine. That's really heavy. Little cuts here. Nice tweaky little cuts. Pulpy part. Get that out of there. Clean that up a bit. Who's getting hungry? Just chopping it all up here. And this is just your basic yellow cooking onion. Nothing fancy, no Spanish onion or purple onions or sweet white onion, just and those I had on hand. I think I paid $3.99 for a 3-pound bag the other day. So we're going to take the onion, throw it on our Tweekah burrito here. Let's get some heartburn going. So we now have I got high blood pressure. Oh! You guys just about went for a fall there. No, I got Tweekah blood pressure. All right, so that's what we're dealing with so far, and I should have used the other phone. This one has a cover on it. I guess I could take it out of the trifold here. Right now you're sitting in a trifold. You're actually dancing all over the place. Yeah, from Wawa, Washington. How did we get so big? Yeah, let's make the shot even bigger. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Now my blood pressure is good. My memory, however, is like a goldfish these days, or maybe that's just my attention span. So that's what we're dealing with so far, and again, that's about as complicated as this gets. I figured let's keep this super simple. So rather than the French fries, or, you know, tweakers might not have the presence of mind to go about remembering to get some French fries with their Uber Eats. So I figure for this recipe we're going to use some chips. So we've selected the Western Family Backyard Barbecue chips. These are $2.50 for a 235 gram sack. So let's proceed, I think we're going to give these a little bit of a crush as we stick them on here. Because we ain't doing the pork rinds anymore. Jody, welcome in. Just in time for dinner. What time is it? Oh, some of you guys on the East Coast, it's supper time already. What's the matter? You just had something to eat. Couple. So again, I was thinking, if you want to fancy this up and the tweaker in your life had some salsa on hand, which I do have some to use up, you could throw that in this recipe. But then I thought, nope, you know, most tweakers, they should have some ketchup. So we're just going to generously add some liquefied, sugarified ketchups on here. That should be plenty. Then we got to come up with a way to wrap this thing. I think we're going to use a toothpick. So I'm going about the wrap. Because I can't really turn in the ends on this. It's too heavy. So we got this bad boy here. See, I'm already losing the tater chips. So we're just going to stab it through. Because this is going in the oven. I know, right? That really is tweak-worthy. So we're going to fire up the oven. Gotta fire up the oven, don't you know? Because we're from Minnesota. Okay, how do I do this? I need the pilot. I remember how to do this. I'm going to hold this in. Could be out of propane. Try this. Supposed to work. Oh, there, yeah, that's fine. I got it. All right, so let's turn this on. This thing's a little sketchy. This whole channel's a little sketchy. There it goes. So we're just gonna let the oven preheat for a couple minutes. Stick this in the fridge. You know what? I got some cheddar cheese here. Let's throw some cheese in there. I'm not saying Tweaker's gonna have cheese on hand, but I gotta use this cheese up. So this is an optional ingredient. So this is some white cheddar cheese. It's all crumbled up. Just give a generous sprinkle of that on there. The Tweekahs are just drooling, I can tell. Alright, let's wrap this bad boy back up. I can tell I probably should have put more tater chips in there. This is already getting pretty difficult to manage. So there we go, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of chips. Gotta use up there. Well, this is propane, so. So that should be warm. I've got a little pan in there, so we're just gonna set this on the pan. And I got the temperature at about 325. What I did find, this is the 77, yes. What I did find is this oven is bang on for temperature. So I got a oven thermometer here. So I was checking it when I first used it, and it is dead nuts bang on for temperature. So whatever setting is on the knob, that's what it is inside the oven. So I was surprised and pleased by that outcome. So that's got to heat up for, I don't know, we can leave it in there for 15 minutes or so. And in the meantime, we have ourselves a little appetizer. Oh, hold already. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, I think we'll use these to go in the for real. Burrito tomorrow, but you'll have to tune in for that. We'll just stick that in the fridge. Cold fries is nasty. Nasty. Right, Pepper? Ooh. Did all the dishes. We used to sell Winnebago parts, so I could use some Winnebago parts. Drop me a comment, let me know who took over your position there. I suppose if you're in a bind and you really need cheese, you could throw this in there. Like I said, I had some cheddar I gotta use up. So let's use it. Yeah, this was free. So yeah, we're not gonna include the fries in the cost of this, but yeah, those 3 measly little chicken strips probably worked out to about $8, which is crazy. So I figured I'd go to the gas station and see if they had any chicken strips, but A&W was right there. And I knew for sure I'd get fries from them. What I didn't get from A&W is smokes. But that I can take care of over here. Pretty sure I still have some left. I got a lighter. Let's see. The smoke stove, boy. In that pocket. Did they fall out? Did they fall out? Yeah. Well, I got a fresh pack over here. So let's just crack him open. Ooh, yeah, I smell that. Smell that burrito cooking up already. Turn it down. Oh, a little high. That's pretty roasty in there. Here they are. Here we go. Again, John Player Tobacco. If you're looking for sponsoring some content, I'm your shill. We are ready to get down and shill on this channel. So then I don't know if you noticed on the thumbnail as you stumbled in, but there's been apparently a local Samsqwatch captured and stuffed in front of a local business here. So I took a snapshot of that. So I'd say we pretty much got the Samsqwatch mystery solved at this point. I'm just going to go out on a limb as I grab my root beer. So what I discovered, as there are Samsqwatch, I guess, watchers, Squatch watchers, Samsqwatch watchers. Coffee sponsor. Well, we already asked Picking Horse on another live stream. Oh yeah, I did pick up some more coffee because they still have those nice grounds at a nice price, relatively speaking. It's not a super nice price, but in today's market, you do what you can. And here in Canada, I don't know if you're aware, but we get to enjoy paper straws on our takeout items. It's plastic straws, single-use plastics are more or less banned. No plastic bags at the grocery store anymore. Except for produce. For some reason, produce, you still got single-use bags. But those nice handy two-handled plastic shopping bags, no, it's killing the universe. We're at risk of destroying the universe if we're allowed to use those as consumers. Wooden spoons, bamboo spoons. So yeah, it makes much more sense to use bamboo spoons. I don't know about you, but there's not a lot of bamboo growing around here. Most of it is to the east of us, like in East Asia. So those bamboo spoons, they gotta be harvested, manufactured, and then shipped on a container across the ocean, don't you know? And so that's better for the planet than or the universe than letting us use plastic cutlery. Like, makes sense. Don't know if you know this. Plastic is so cheap to manufacture. It would almost cost money to not make it. It's kind of. But yeah, we located the Samsqwatch, and for those of you, let's bring up the picture here. So this is what we're talking about. How good that's coming up, but we've got the Sasquatch with some clothes on. I don't know if you can read that. But there's some kind of T-shirt with a depiction of the former Canadian flag with the slogan "Elbows Up," and a lumberjack jacket on. And a Tim Hortons, you can see the Tim Hortons reflected in the background. That's Tim Hortons, that coffee shop there. That's not showing up very well. There's a Tim Hortons right in the reflection in the glass. Shout out to Tim Hortons. I don't want sponsorship from Tim Hortons. So Elbows Up for the American viewers who don't know much about Canadian politics. That was basically the platform our current Prime Minister here in Canada launched in order to. Oh, we're smoking. Get smoky in here. Those huge wooden sporks and forks. Yes, those are good. All right, we're smoking the place out. Let's go see what Max is up to. A little too furious in there. Maybe we'll just leave the screen door open for now. Don't let any mosquitoes in. And so yeah, we just had an election but around this time last spring. And the strongman candidate, the liberal candidate, similar to your Democrat Party in the States, he ran on the platform of standing up to the evil orange man. Orange Hitler, right? So the slogan they ran on, this is what the Liberal Party of Canada came up with, was elbows up, which is a hockey phrase. I mean, keep your elbows up as you're dealing with Donald Trump. Elbows up. And so that's the kind of sloganeering we got to deal with in Canadian politics, which is gay as fuck. And so yeah, what we learned today is Samsqwatch we've identified is basically a white liberal woman, and is on the side of the liberals and hates Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, if you're watching this, watch your six. Get that Secret Service deployed and on the lookout for white liberal Canadian women that are going to take you out by giving you a big elbow check to your fat orange head. You hear? So there you go. Mystery solved. And burrito almost ready. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Canadian politics, again, just for funsies' sake, because there's stuff going on that kind of tie in with American politics right now. Not that we're turning this into a political pundit channel. I just find it amazingly humorous as to what's going on. And again, I use this platform, this channel, to unload the random thoughts that come through my head, just so I don't have to think about them anymore, so I can sleep at night. Alright, so we got an extra packet of Franks. We're just gonna stick them in the drawer for safekeeping. Use that maybe on another recipe. How's this guy doing? Let's see if he's heating up. Yeah, he's heating up pretty nice. So we'll just leave him in there another 5 minutes, and we'll turn the oven off and just let it kind of stay warm in there for a little bit before we take our first bite of the Tweekah burritos. And yes, Donald Trump is lurking. That's the greatest fear of every Canadian, is that Donald Trump could be behind any tree or under any rock, because he is all powerful, don't you know? Don't you know? So I think most Canadians are convinced that ICE is ready to storm the border and just turn this whole place into Minneapolis at some point. Which could happen, allegedly. But then it'll be too late, of course. Yes. But yeah, what's going on in local politics here in the 51st state is that our Prime Minister Mark Carney is returning from China, where he's helping establish the New World Order with the help of China. And that's not even allegedly, that's straight out of his own yap. Western consolidation is already a given. Well, it's a given. I'm kind of seeing the way it's going to play out, so it's hilariously fascinating. So all the boomers here up in Canada, they voted in the Liberals again. I guess 10 years of Justin Trudeau destroying our country and economy and culture and way of life wasn't enough. They needed a second helping. And not that the Conservatives were going to put an end to that. It doesn't really matter. But the boomers hopped on board with the elbows up propaganda, in that our biggest existential threat is, in fact, the United States, you guys, and Donald Trump, your president. Not my president. And I found that delightfully amusing, if not comical. And it seems in any event you're seeing on the mainstream media, the legacy media, the news networks, CNN, it's like we're all given a one-dimensional or first-degree approach of the situation. An example I'd say is like immigration. Immigration bad. And then it's up to you to either pick a side and agree, immigration bad? And then you got to fill in the blanks, well, why bad? Well, it's just some people don't even go to the second degree of why it's bad. Or the second order. Let's change that. Not first degree, second degree. It's first order, second order, third order, and on. And yeah, it's a bunch of pretexts. And so if you use the premise, immigration bad, we got to control immigration, and then you pick a side. No, immigration good. Okay, well, why is it good? Or why is it bad? And so you never get beyond. Occasionally, you might get to the second order where you'd say, oh, it's bad for the economy, or it's bad for the resources we have, or it's going to be bad for housing, or it's going to be bad for our culture, or it's going to be bad for this or that. Well, it's like what's required is fifth, sixth, seventh order approach, and to be able to see years down the line of what the impact's going to be. It's not just the economy. It's not just this. It's not just that. It's a totality of things if you look at it in context. But our political overlords, with the help of the media, they play a different kind of game. And they assume the average voter is basically as dumb as a stump. And so, yeah, we're not doing a deep dive on immigration, but it's sort of what is the impact of immigration going to be decades from now? And where's all this glare coming? It's just the sunshine. So what's happening in China over the last few days is our prime minister is making agreements with China as a trading partner, and we're basically kicking Donald Trump and all those nasty Americans to the curb, which makes up about 75% of our trading activity. Like 75% of our export is cross-border between the U.S. and Canada. I don't know, and probably a good portion of our imports, not your net imports, but what we import, the majority comes from the United States as well. So we're planning on eliminating about 75% of our gross domestic product and replacing the United States with trading partners in Europe and China. And so we currently have, as far as China goes, a 100% tariff on Chinese-built electric vehicles. And from what I understand, Orange Hitler, Donald Trump, is in favor of that because competition from China, when we should, if we're making and selling electric vehicles here in North America, we should be either buying American or Canadian. But no, we've removed that tariff, or it's in the process of being removed, and establishing China as a proper replacement as a trading partner with the, replacing the United States with China. So the way I see it is essentially, forget about that 51st state for the moment. We are about to become the 24th province of China. So the former nation of Canada has basically been declared to be now a province of China. And again, just the thought of it is, it's ludicrous on its face. Now, I did hear a commentator discussing the conspiracy theory that Mark Carney, our prime minister, may very well be establishing the steps necessary for evil Orange Hitler to become the ruler and potentate over the 51st state. And the way that would look is, on the way to annexing Greenland, once news of this trade shift hits the White House, you guys will probably just stop and annex Canada on your way to Greenland. So whether that happens or not, I don't know, but it seems like our politicians are displaying more than just your average incompetence. The design of this seems to lead to inevitable outcomes that are either going to destroy Canada one way or another. The Americans are not going to be impacted in a meaningful way since the portion of your gross domestic product that Canada represents is maybe around 7 to 12%, where our dependence on America, trade, products, services, etc., benefits our economy to the tune of 70 to 80% of our GDP. So to attempt to eliminate America as a major trading ally and cultural and political ally, it just seems like there's a general lack of wisdom in operation here. What's more, you guys remember NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement? Since Orange Hitler has taken over, it's been renamed USMCA, the United States, Mexico, Canada Agreement. Up here we have a different acronym for it. We call it CUSMA, Canada, US, Mexico Agreement. But nobody calls it CUSMA. Everybody calls it USMCA because Canada is basically an irrelevant footnote in world history at this point. So we have no influence, no clout, no nothing. Fly the fleur de lis. I'm ready to fly the Jolly Roger at this point. Because generally the rainbow flag is now our national ensign that we fly. And so it's quite interesting times that we live in. But you can almost see the second, third, fourth degree or fourth order consequences and factors that are, one, going to be the final nail in the coffin for Canada. You'd be up for some Canada Dry? I like a good Canada Dry every once in a while. It's not quite my first preference, as you know. Dr. Pepper is where it's at. But just the political developments over the last few days is rather interesting, because I know the way the mainstream media portrays it. It's going to give you that first order of context, in that reports are going to be shown to people in their living rooms that Mark Carney, the strong man of Canada, standing up to the evil orange Hitler by forging new alliances internationally in order to create, out of his own words, sitting before the Chinese delegation, giving his message that with the help of China, we are going to ahead in creating a new world order. Not my words, his words. That was straight out of Carney himself. So on national news, they clip out that part where he says New World Order, because they don't necessarily want that language being bandied about, and lots of people doing Google searches on New World Order. But and we're not going to go into it here, of how many degrees of order or levels of order that's going to require. But it would appear to me that Donald Trump does not want a strong, close ally basically giving over sovereignty to China on their northern border. He was worried about the Chinese and the Russians taking over Greenland, yeah? Well, we shall see in the days, weeks, months ahead of the blowback of this recent trip to China that the Canadian delegation has. See what kind of shitstorm they've riled up. So It's all getting very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And again, I don't really care. I'm going to be fine one way or another. It's not directly going to impact my life, but it seems that the annexation of Canada is happening, whether the Americans do it or the Chinese do it. So I'm here calling Canada, I'm calling it the 24th province of China. I guess there's some dispute over that, whether you consider Taiwan an official province of China. I guess if you're in Taiwan, you might argue with that. But I'm calling it here, 24th province of China, which would immediately result in flipping us, converting us, transforming us, transmutating us, transmogrifying us into the 51st state. So that's the way it could potentially play out. But anyways, there's burritos to be eaten. So let's go check out this bad boy. So there we go, nice and heated up. We're gonna have to try to hold this all together. It's still a little warm. Maybe think about using a plate for this. I'll just throw on these napkins. But the Tweekah burrito is ready. It smells pretty good, really. I don't know what to expect. I think I kind of outdid myself with the potato chips this time. And so yeah, our Samsqwatch regiment, I guess, will be standing on guard with their t-shirts and their elbows up. Venezuela to Mexico through the Darien Gap is as the Ho Chi Minh Trail is to China. The U.S. is closer to Canada as Vietnam is closer to China. Speaking of Vietnam, I'm hungry for some Vietnamese food. I don't think there's any Vietnamese food in this town here. And I made some calls back home, but it seems to me to renew my license, I'm going to have to make a trip back to Manitoba, unless I get a British Columbia driver's license before March 1st. That's when I have to renew. I gotta go get a new photo ID. Maybe they'll have the digital ID out by then. I can just get my microchip or however they plan on doing that. Biometric. I guess biometric is a little different than the strictly digital ID, which I guess you need a smart device for digital ID. Again, I'll figure a way around that. It doesn't really matter to me. We'll either make do one way or another. All right, so who's ready for some Tweekah burrito? Let's maybe do our best not to make a mess here. Not too bad. That ketchup gives it a really nice and delicate flavor. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll see how my gut does. Before we give it the official La Rata thumbs up. But yeah, I'd say this is pretty much Tweekah approved. You got the onions and the cheese all melty. It's all good. Oh look, a little bit of browning on the crust. I'd say this is a winner. The after effects, yeah, we'll give a post-mortem. Possibly tomorrow. So yeah, this recipe lends itself to lots of flexibility. You can use whatever flavor of chips you like. You could use barbecue sauce instead of ketchup. You could use sushi instead of chicken strips. Chew it twice and swallow it. Your body knows what to do with the rest. It just needs to get small enough to fit down your throat. That's the truth of it. If you want to sit there and chew your food, I'm not going to stop you. But it just needs to get small enough that you don't choke on it. Oh yeah. I could eat a whole cooler full of these. Delish. That's some fine Tweekah cuisine. Yeah, I've never been big on chewing. Too busy. Yeah, one of these is a pretty decent sized meal, so maybe I should have looked for some pita bread, but this looks so close enough when I figured I'll give this a try. So if you're a Tweekah or you know a Tweekah and you're already firing up your Escalade or Yukon to head to the grocery store, or your Chrysler 300 or Charger, getting that Scat Pack Charger, go on down to the grocery store and pick you up some ingredients for a proper Tweekah burrito. Because while I was at the grocery store, I picked up some ingredients we're going to try in the next burrito. Because if you can master this, we'll train you in degrees how to work your way up to more advanced recipes. And so tomorrow is a little more of going to be an advanced tutorial. Do 10 push-ups for 20 euros? Hell no. How about 20 push-ups for 10 euros? I'll raise you. Oh, there's room to do push-ups here. How about 3 push-ups for 50 euros? with a cat sitting on my back. You want to do that, Pepper? Three for 15? Okay, now you're talking. Yeah, that's doable. We can turn this into a cooking and fitness channel. So diet and exercise. By the way, I walked to the store to get all these ingredients. So I walked to A&W. Don't know if I got my 10,000 steps in today. But yeah, I didn't hop in my Escalade or my Bronco. Yeah, first burrito with the bacon rinds or the pork rinds. That was shit. Now the criteria for a lot of these recipes is to go as economical as possible. I kind of splurged out on this. I could have gotten cheaper chicken strips, I'm sure. I just knew the ones they have at the grocery store, the frozen ones, are junk. And if you recall, those first burritos that consisted of scrambled eggs, canned chili, pork rinds. And I think that was about it. I'm not a big fan of the ketchup chips. Let's see, Maven, you do edits and motivate people in screen recording. Well, if you're willing to pay me money, this monkey can dance for you. I do eat them, but I'm not a particular fan. It's taking a while to eat. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll polish this off. Wash it down a little bit. Have a smoke. Do some push-ups. Actually, how much would I get doing push-ups with a smoke in my mouth? Tweekah burrito, thumbs up. Tweekah approved. Five tweaks. And if you haven't hit that tweaks up button yet, what are you waiting for? Delightful. Getting down the last couple of chomps here. No cigarettes, just the marijuanas. Used to play hockey. Don't really do much in that regard anymore. What was I just going to say? Got distracted by the chat. Yeah, that was good. That was fine. I don't know what made that what it is, but I'll be making that again. There was just so you recall, we had had the A&W chicken strip, a 3-piece meal. The French fries we set aside for another installment of Tweekah burrito, quite possibly tomorrow. So we grabbed one of those thin crust pizza shells. These guys here. We got 3 left. Should be more than enough to keep me going through the weekend. We threw some Frank's hot sauce on top of the chicken. We chopped up a little bit of onion, threw that in there. Some basic yellow cooking onions. And then some tater chips, and then we'll sprinkle a little bit of cheddar, aged cheddar cheese, some old cheese. It's not old as in I've had it forever. It's old as in aged to perfection. All right, well, I'll light up a smoke and then do the physical exertion here. Who else we got wandering in? Nina Weed is here. Welcome, welcome. You just missed dinner. All right, I think I can make some room here. This, when I turn the pile on, it's all off. The dog dish out of the way. So I'm not going to do this outside because it's all snow out there. So I've got a little bit of room on the floor here. Should be just wide enough to do a few push-ups. So we'll sit you down right here, so you know I'm not cheating. I'm stretched right out. I'm not cheating on my knees here. Let's see. These boots out of the way. Let's see, we got even a better angle here. See, I'm stretched right out, yeah. Oh, don't want to burn the carpet with my smoke, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Or was I only supposed to do 3? I don't know. There you go. And I was puffing. I wasn't just holding a cigarette in my mouth. I was inhaling. So you too can reach peak performance levels like me on merely a diet of Tweekah burritos, Dr. Pepper, the occasional A&W root beer, lots of coffee, and plenty of these. I'm not even breathing that heavy. Speaking of heavy breathing, I know some of you in the crowd are kind of into that 1A cough watching community stuff. I came across a great channel this week, or last week sometime. Don't have super chat, no. You'll have to PayPal me. No Venmo, no Snap, no, not, what is it called? Cash App. I just have the PayPal under my name. So if you really need to send me money, you gotta find me on PayPal. Go into the app or go on the website. No, not chili. This one is kind of a little twist on body cam and dash cam footage. It's basically all high-speed police chases, and the channel is called T Lights World. So T as in Tweekah. Yeah, I don't have Cash App here. We don't have Cash App in Canada. I'm in Canada. The Canadian government has blocked all of our Cash App accounts permanently. I got PayPal and PayPal. Oh, someone doing some logging over here. These guys are serious. They want to cut down all these birch trees down here because they're so messy. Oh, birch trees are good. There's a lot of cleanup in the fall time. Really, no Cash App. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why we couldn't do Cash App up here. It's kind of led me to think maybe I should get one of those, not a burner phone, but one of those American prepaid Walmart phones, and just have. But I don't know if that's tied to an American bank account. I don't want to open American bank accounts yet. I suppose I could, but no Cash App. And if you go on PayPal and just look up the name of this channel, Brent Shymko, that's where it's at. BRENTSHYMKO. What did I come out here to yap about? I heard a tree falling. Again, distracted. No attention span. Attention span of a parasite on the back of a goldfish. The sun's getting ready to set. What are we at? 3 o'clock here. Sun's setting around 4:30 nowadays. Days are getting longer. Still waiting for parts for the baby there. Cigarette went out. Okay, next is, you need to get inside? Is that what you need? Nothing going on in here. So it's time to manufacture some hot bean liquid, some coffee. Yeah, we've got a nice sunshiny week ahead of us. It's kind of a bit of a rarity for the last couple of days have been a little bit better. Oh, it was very foggy. But the daytime, the fog kind of clears away. But we had snow, like from Christmas right up until pretty much last weekend. And then it became rain earlier this week. So Monday and Tuesday, it was raining here. It was a shit show, man. Let's get some water heated up for a hot bean liquid, aka Tweekah coffee. That should be plenty. I mean, I got to get that truck fixed up. So I go cruising the thrift stores looking for cups to make our official line of Lorata merch. I got to get on that. The first product is going to be handmade custom Lorata cups. Made through the power of Lorata. So what do we got here? Dead soldier. Here. There, queen. Back there. Filter. As we sing our national anthem. Oh, Canada, we are so fucked. It's not looking good. Old Trump gonna mess us up. Got a PayPal. There's other, I guess, things I could probably look into. Buy me a coffee app or something. I've got a StreamYard's account, but I haven't been doing any. Maybe there's a way to do it on my phone to get TTSs. But I kind of think I need my laptop to power that app. But yeah, for now I just got the PayPals. I do really want to look into that Cash App. See what it would take to, because that's so handy, right? You just need a phone number or email? And a bank account? I had a thought pass through my cortex here, but it's gone. Oh, laptop's right here. It's just actually the laptop I was streaming on has all the apps. It's got Restream on it. I guess I gotta load Restream on here, and then find my login credentials for StreamYard. I'm totally disorganized. I'm super lazy. Here I am coming up with ideas for Tweekah burritos when I should actually be taking care of some important stuff. But yeah, there's a Buy Me a Coffee app where you could just send shit. I don't know if that works internationally or well, it must. I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. I need a staff taking care of this stuff for me, but that costs money. So. Max says you didn't share burritos with him. Well, he got the biggest treat this afternoon. It was a little staggering. I gave him a part of the rib cage from the brisket. Remember we were deboning that beef back before Christmas? Well, I cut some dog bones and scraps, and I gave him this big hunk. And he polished the whole damn thing. I thought he'd be working on it all afternoon. He just tore through it like a tweaker after a rock full of meth or something. I don't know. It was nuts. He just smoked it, man. Just annihilated it. Like I gave him this chunk, walked to A&W. By the time he got back, it was done. So I think that was your supper, buddy. You ain't getting nothing else. Unless you could do 10 push-ups. How much to see my dog do a push-up? Let's see. Yeah, not much going on. We've located Samsqwatch. And again, it's we've discovered, and I kind of suspect this all along, that the mystery of Sasquatch is that it's been positively identified as a white liberal female, and you know, that's about all you need to know about that. Like, you can do all the cryptozoology you want and the evolutionary hybridization, you know, digging through that whole rabbit hole. But I think the science is settled. Sasquatch has been qualitatively and quantitatively identified as a white liberal woman. It's pouring. Can you hear it pouring? Let's see. Get the money shot here. There we go. My paint pens are just itching to go to start cranking out these Larata cups. And as you know, Larata owns Sasquatch and it owns Greenland, as well as the 51st state already, as well as China. So no matter what happens, Larata will be doing just fine. But yeah, I don't have 6 hours worth of nonsense today. That time really kind of got away on me the other day. Like, I started that shit show at like 11:30 local time. And the sun had pretty well set by the time I wrapped it up. I don't know. That stream was definitely powered by Tweekah Brrritoes. What was that burrito? That was the chopped cheese burrito. The chopped cheese burrito. You have to go back to what was that, Wednesday's stream? Tuesday? I can't even remember. See how we're doing here. A little more water. And for those of you that are curious, this is what I'm drinking. Right here in the Rocky Mountains of the former country known as Canada, or the nation formerly known as Canada. Kicking Horse Coffee. And this is the Three Sisters roast. It's a triple punch of light, medium, and dark roasts. Smooth, savory, and seductive. I'm just reading. I'm not saying it. That's what they're saying. That's the claim. Great taste? Heck yeah. It says that right on the back. Heck yeah. Not Beck yeah, but heck yeah. Heck yeah, Beck yeah. Oh yeah, Tea Lights. Yeah, we were talking about Tea Lights World. So yeah, high-speed cop chases. They're like 20 to 30 minute clips with commentary. It's basically a reaction channel. People have been sending in clips similar to Delete Laws. And yeah, Tea Lights. T as in Tweekah, Lites, Tea Lights World. And yeah, you get to see some pretty nice car chases. Some of them get away, some of them don't. But it's a thrill a minute. So that I've been kind of burning out on those videos. There's quite a few. Aaron and Ryan love this streamer called. Well, anything Aaron and Ryan are in agreement with, I probably want to have nothing to do with. Finster, Fester, Fincher, Finster. Fester. I'm going to call it Fester. Ryan's festering and Aaron's festering. Well, what else is new? I could fester too if I really wanted to. But yeah, check out Tea Lights if you're into that kind of content. You get the police. It's like it's basically like watching the old Dukes of Hazzard. You know, just the camera shot through the windshield, Roscoe P. Coltrane just chasing after them Duke boys. Get them Dukes. Who remembers Dukes of Hazzard? They're just good old boys. Never mean no harm. But a lot of these guys on Tea Lights channel, it's like they got the pew-pews and they're trying to do harm. So it's not exactly like the Duke boys, but lots of good, clean fun. Let's just put it that way. With the odd F-bomb, I guess, thrown in. Network censors never got that. So. Well, yeah, the Tea Lights World. I've been watching a few. Not quite binge watching, but there's some good chases there. Real good. Coffee's almost ready. Yeah, Boss Hog has not made an appearance on the Tea Lights channel. Although Tea Lights, he's the narrator, the content creator. I guess he's a little boss hoggy. Although he's a chocolate complexioned gentleman, so. Generally, yeah, they went through those challengers like nobody's business. On Tea Lights channel, you get to see lots of scat packs. Chrysler 300s, the Chargers, lots of Challenger boys. Saw one good one today, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Led the boys in blue on a real wholesome chase. Saw some 11-year-old kids booting around in a stolen Kia, trying to outrun the piggies. Lots of good, clean fun. All dash cam, body cam kind of stuff. Very nice, very nice. So just a little twist on the cop watching content. It seems I kind of stopped watching all that cop watch content because it's people just sending in clips of body worn cameras and dash cams, and it's sort of okay. You know, I see the First Amendment community, you know, doing IRL stuff, and Jimmy Freeman doing stuff. It's like, okay, there's some interesting stuff, but a lot of the cop stuff now is just records requests of body cam footage. That kind of gets a little old. After you've seen 50 of them, you've seen them all. Like the behavior of the authorities doesn't seem to improve over time. And it seemed that mandating or making body-worn cameras required didn't seem to alter any behavior on the parts of the good men and women of law enforcement. So, yeah, 11-year-old kids in a Kia, a stolen Kia. So, to you Kia owners out there, maybe sell that and get yourself a Toyota, because a Kia is not even theft-proof by 11-year-olds at this point. They did not get away, unfortunately. They got cuffed and taken to juvie, and so in a sense they did get away, because they'll be back stealing a Kia near you next week. But they were going. They were going pretty good, but they ended up crashing out. No one injured. No one injured. Sometimes there are injuries. This time, no one injured. So it was a happy ending. So, fortunately, 11-year-olds can't get charged with felonies. So they just got a stern talking to and back on the streets in search of more Kias. I guess in that note, like if you want to theft-proof your car, you could do the old Scotty Kilmer thing and make some manual shut-off switches inside the cab of your vehicle, or you know, in the cockpit area where you mount at least 2. What's better is 3 manual switches that you have to turn them all on before the ignition will fire. It's fairly easy to do. You just have to wire in a couple of switches from the starter relay to the ignition, and boom. If a thief breaks into your car and tries to hotwire it, and they don't have all 3 switches turned on, they ain't going nowhere. So, got 80 switches, 50 switches. There you go. Joe the Home knows. Do you hear a Samsqwatch out there? Maybe that was just my guts queasy after that burrito, that delightful burrito. But yeah, a little trick from old Scotty Kilmer. Just wire up some safety switches. The thing is, if you only have one and they search around for it, they might find it. So they'll try one, and if that still doesn't work, they might even find the second one, but they probably won't look for the third one. Like you put one in an obvious spot, like right under your instrument cluster, and the thief will, okay, I gotta flip this manual switch. But then if you got one tucked away by the fuse panel and one by the console, or one tucked up underneath the dash, which, you know, you could just reach by reaching under and flick it, but they're not going to look for that third switch. By that time, you know, gone in 60 seconds. Who knows how long it took them to realize they got to turn switches to get your ignition going. So in this case, more is better. You can always, well, again, the switches are user friendly. You could always pull the starter relay out every time you shut off your vehicle and stick it in your pocket, but then what if you lose that relay? Then you can't start it, so you gotta pop the hood. Yeah, make it so you're just driving a piece of junk that the battery is such a piece of garbage that you gotta jump start it every time. That's theft proof, yeah. But if you're driving a vehicle like that, probably no one wants to steal it. But yeah, a lot of stolen Challengers, a lot of stolen Chargers. What's the other big stolen vehicle out there? I think the Camaros are a pretty popular target with the 5-finger discount crowd. Carry a battery pack. Yeah. Everywhere you go, just carry a jumper pack. Them Kia boys, the 11-year-old Kia crowd. So you got 11-year-old proof you're Kia, is kind of the moral of the story. Because if an 11-year-old can steal it, anybody can steal it. Yeah, don't leave the charger pack sitting on the passenger seat, because then you just gave a big hint to the carjackers that oh, I gotta jump this thing and then it's mine, and I get a free charger pack on top of it. I just gotta outrun the polices. But yeah, T-Light's world. I get a kick out of it. His commentary is fairly entertaining too. He's got a certain affect, a certain way of describing the action as it goes down. Check out my chocolate brother, T-Lights. Really, that's about it. I don't have much for you guys today. That 6-hour tweak out the other day, that kind of did me in. And then Canadian politics, again, I'm just making note of it to kind of emphasize that some of the stories you see in the headlines, whether it's ICE shooting in Minneapolis, or whether Iran is in the news again, or Maduro, it's like the media is hoping you catch on at that first order of information and don't escalate your thinking to the higher orders. And it's a way to divide people, divide the nation, have them pick sides, and get into fights on the internet. Speaking of fights on the internet, oh, here's a little more. I was tuning in, because YouTube has been pretty much nothing going on. The internet is dead, so the internet is kind of useless at this point. Todd was on yesterday, and the reason is because Ryder was on. You remember Ryder? By the way, we hate Ryder. Well, actually, let me double check. Let's say the 16th. Yeah, I had to check the schedule. Yeah, we hate Ryder today. But there are a few days on the schedule where we flip back and forth. But on the schedule. Today we hate Ryder. Chris Ryder, the Griftifer. And so Ryder did a live yesterday. And of course Todd and Killamilla had to chime in. And this morning I was like, that was always perplexing me. It's like, why are these guys doing this? Like, what are they getting out? Like, I told you the other day, I don't really, the only thing I get out of this is unloading a little bit of mental baggage. So I talk about stuff so I don't have to think about it anymore, ruminate on it. It was like, what do Killamilla and Todd give a rat's ass about what Chris Ryder is doing? And I couldn't come up with a reasonable explanation. It's like, I don't. Let's look up Killamilla. Like, is Killamilla's channel even monetized? Like, he gets like 15 people watching. Like, Todd's channel is monetized, from what I understand. So people send super chats. So he's at least getting a few shekels out of it. But their commentary and play-by-play, the breakdown of all the things that makes Ryder a shitty person, it just doesn't make sense that adult men would pursue that as a activity of interest. That's just me talking out. Like, I just, and this morning it occurred, it was like, what are they actually getting out of this? So I'm not subscribed to either one of them. Like, Todd had it on subscriber only mode in the chat. Killamilla, I think he might have two channels, but the one channel has 500 subscribers, not even. Todd's got a couple thousand. I mean, we're not even talking direct D numbers here. So Killamilla is not monetized on this one channel. And they just go on and on and on for hours about how shitty a person Chris Ryder is. And I agree with them that he's a shitty person, at least today. But it's just, it gets pretty monotonous after a little while. And I guess the angry vet gets dragged into that somehow. Direct D is a major player in that beef. Like, it's just, what are you guys all doing? What's in it for any of yous? Like, let's just see. Let's see. Killamilla's lives are pretty much all just Ryder-based faff. And it has been like this for probably the last year. I don't know. Well, maybe there's some other content on here, but it seems to be just a Ryder hate channel. And we could very well adopt that format here, I suppose. if there was something in it for me, but I just don't see what's in it for these young men. So yeah, this is at least the last 6 months and 4 months. How long? Well, I guess that's he started streaming 4 months ago. I mean, they're trying to drag Larata into this. I don't think that's going to work out for them. So it's just kind of lame. There's kind of bitch ass content. I not that I have anything to provide that's of anything more substantial. Crying out loud, guys! Go outside and touch grass. You know, do something with your time. Writer is not a story. Maybe they're calling it journalism or something, but writer is not a story. Maybe collab with Frauditor Troll or something. I don't know. Gotta have something better to do with your time. Make like you turn writer into your reason for existing. That seems like a rather poor approach to anything. That's just my opinion, allegedly. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. I don't know. I don't even know if anybody's still watching here. Chris Ryder, Griftifer, and Tifaho. Yeah, let's just go live night after night after night and criticize everything that they've ever done in their lives. Let's just make them the center of our universe. Seems bizarre. Seems rather bizarre. Let's see if I'm missing any chats here. He always gave me the ick. Yeah, it was like, I don't know if you're talking about Ryder or the other dudes, but the whole thing is ick. I mean, this is YouTube. You could post whatever you want, pretty much, but I'm kind of motivated to avoid the ick factor in general. Don't know that I'm succeeding, but I try. All I can do is try. Got to represent Larata. I mean, Lord knows the only emotes were left that really pack any punch nowadays, or a counterfeit weed pecker here. So there you go. That's another Friday. It's got to be 6:30 on the East Coast. What do you want to do now, Max? He's out. He polished his treat off. He's done. So what else is going on YouTube? What other reaction videos can we do here? Not much. T-light at the top of the algorithm. Who's live? Who's live now? Who's live now? Todd's not even live. Like, what? See if Ryder goes live today. Now, I'm not subbed to any of them. Otto is live. There you go. Welcome in, Tag. Tag saves the day. But yeah, I don't think we're going to go to a reaction channel format here. I never, well, I might do a reaction video to, like I've done my reaction to Andy Edwards, my reaction to certain musical artists, popular music artists. But just doing reaction videos to other YouTube content, isn't there enough of that on YouTube? Is the space kind of fully saturated with that at this point? People reacting to Twitter posts and other YouTube content. I don't see that there's a need for yet another channel doing that. Reaction videos are all over the place. Killa Milla even kind of acknowledged that that's pretty much what sells on the internet now, but I don't know. Again, to have a non-monetized channel going to that length to comment on a non-story like Ryder. Maybe there's some personal beefs there that I'm unaware of. Maybe I don't know the lore. So yeah, no intention to do any reaction videos. I just was curious to see who's live, to see what Tweekahs we can watch. And I mean, just on that note, like the Samsqwatch, it's somewhat of a reaction format, but it's the whole chat is reacting to the Badger. It's not even the content is not the content that Badger leeches is not the content. The content is the Badger. So it's kind of a little twist. And I'm not interested in trying to recreate what the Badger has perfected there. Like, why you're not going to improve on perfection at that point. So it's that's not my interest. Release the Badger. I think a Badger just crawled under a snowbank. It's kind of hibernating for now. So. He'll just self-release in an ejaculatory manner once he's good and ready. But well, yeah, that's just a little bit of a twist on the reaction format. The format is tweak watching, right? And who's restreaming me, as Justin Garza would say. Who is restreaming me? So I'm more interested in providing the tweak content than watching and reacting to tweak content. I do my best to provide. I want to be a producer of tweak content, not just a consumer of it. I'll consume the Tweekah burritos. That's my consumption ambition. And I'll consume the Nick sticks here. Let me guess. Otto is going to hold up signs and yell stuff at cars until people bother. Is that his shtick? Yeah, the non-tent. That's what this is all about. The non-tent. Yeah, that's the genre. I'm all about the non-tent. And I'll do push-ups for euros while smoking cigarettes. There you go. Yeah, maybe we'll get a panel of non-tenters. We'll get a panel discussion of non-tenting. Oh yeah, well, okay, so just filling in the gaps of my lack of knowledge on the rider situation. Do you guys remember in the what the hell? What was that channel? Smurfwatch. Smurfwatch. Or maybe you've heard of Clash with Bow. There was a Scal, secret agent Scal, that was showing her Scal face around there for a while, a couple of months back. Well, it turns out that is Rabbit's girlfriend. So that, according to allegedly, according to writers. So Secret Agent Scal is on Team Rabbit. And Rabbit, you guys know the Rabbit story. Lion 1, his former wife, who committed suicide. And then Secret Agent Scal kind of came on the scene trying to dig and drive information of what's really going on. Well, it turns out there's a strong connection to Killamilla, to a little Freudian slip there, to Rabbit. Still taking notes. The Rabbit's a little rascally. He's a little rascally rabbit. Yeah, rascally wabbit. So that connection, those dots were kind of connected through. I forget if it was. Well, I guess it was Ryder's stream. Killamilla and generally specific Todd were doing the handoff stream last night. And so yeah, Secret Agent Scal goes by other YouTube handles, but she's in Camp Wascally Wat. So for those of you that are in the know, that's a connection there. Is it important? I don't know. But there was some speculation way back when, like November, October. Who is this Scal? Well, that's who that Scal is. So do with that information what you like. Sort of just a data point for you to consider. I'm not going to do anything with it other than just share the information that I discovered through the magic of YouTube. And I just heard it on that piece of shit degenerate writers channel. And I guess that's what he does have going in his favor, is if he is in fact a piece of shit and a degenerate, that kind of makes me warm up to him. So he's my kind of people. I have no thoughts about that. I don't know, Dad, whether any charges will ever be charged. Probably for something at some point in time, but Lion 1's mysterious demise, even that didn't add up. Because if there was... well, I'm just sharing what I know, but a woman died at her own hand. She left a note. She was sorely missed to the point that they had this redneck pizza party. And had a sizable chunk of real estate and possibly somewhat of an estate that her widowed husband would potentially have access to, unless it was protected by some kind of trust, a legal trust arrangement. Because typically a life insurance policy is not going to pay out in the event that someone takes their own life. That's just the way life insurance works. So if there was life insurance there, staging a self-unaliving is not a great motive, or it's not a great explanation, because no life insurance would be, no benefit would be paid out. So, so if you're looking for an MO financially, there's only so many ways you could access that estate as the bereaved husband, the surviving husband. And I would assume that if Lion One is as smart as she comes across or came across, that some kind of trust would have been set up. Don't know anything about what the family is involved in. Well, who doesn't like being a DJ daily? That's what life's all about. So it's just there's lots of more questions than answers in that whole that whole scenario. But then you got scals like Secret Agent Scal popping up in chats, stirring things up, and then you got a direct line of connection back to the bereaved surviving husband of a woman who just took her own life. It's weird. It's not passing the sniff test, right? There's just too much fuckery going on. Yeah, we're not going to try to recreate Bao's laugh or any of that here. That's not what it's about. I miss that badgery squeaky laugh as well. It's like a little squeak squeak. Do badgers squeak, or am I thinking of a different animal? Yeah, we need to get that laugh back on the YouTubes. Lion's father was in charge of her trust and kicked Rabbit off. Yeah, like at a certain point, I stopped following the story, mostly because I was only knowing anything about it through Bao's stream, whatever he was leeching. So I just so happened to tune in while Ryder was live yesterday, and he dropped the intel that there's connections back to Rabbit, the Wascally Wabbit, and so I don't know what the family has done as far as following up on charges or investigation or whatnot. It just seemed like a super tweaky, freaky, creepy scenario from top to bottom, side to side. So I don't have a ton of details. So I'm just sharing the detail that Secret Agent Scal was in the mix, and it's kind of been uncloaked by Ryder. So the cloak of secrecy has been somewhat pulled asunder. That's some pretty tweaky stuff going on there. So I'd say that's more than a YouTube beef. Bao was engaged in the story. I mean, I think he admittedly said he didn't know much was going on, was just trying to find out what's going on. I don't know if he's still hot on the trail, or or what further details could be supplied, but I think we all knew what Bao knew, and that wasn't a ton. Her age, she could have gotten 500. Again, life insurance policies, they typically don't pay in the event of suicide, act of war, meaning if you were killed in action. Even if it was found that it was foul play, that someone unalived you. Yeah, he certainly did want the truth out. I mean, we all do, but I mean, it's not kind of not within our ability to investigate. Maybe you could put the pieces together with what sparse details are already public. You think he's tied up in that shed and that's the last we're going to see of him? He's just surviving on ogre diapers? Yikes. I hope that's not the case. Damn, that would be nasty. That would be nasty. So yeah, anything we have to say is kind of speculation because we're just going on whatever is publicly available on the internets. So it's sort of unless you're on the scene or boots on the ground or privy to information that you can do an expose. I really don't know what's within any of our power to come up with getting to the bottom of the truth of the matter. Maybe things will just leak out over time. Maybe things will just leak out like the dookies would leak out of the edges of an ogre's diaper. I don't know. Those mustard butt ogre diapers. So yeah, it's just a strange situation. And Dad, or not Dad, Bao with his journalistic instincts was doing what he could, but aside from just asking questions, I don't know what we could possibly uncover as you wrap the layers off that smelly, stinky diaper of a situation. But yeah, justice for Lion 1. And a happy Friday to our ever-present representative of the La Rata Corporation. Justice for Bao, or at least free Bao. Free Bao from his imprisonment underneath that pile of nasty ogre mustard butt diapers. Yuck. Like, I don't even like Bao, but I wouldn't want to see anybody have that done to him. Maybe Freeman. Maybe Jimmy Freeman. I'd be okay with that. He is a ginger after all. He probably wouldn't even mind it that much. But yeah, Bao is definitely not deserving of that diaperous, torturous treatment that he's currently undergoing, allegedly. I don't even know if I'd want to see Ryan subjected to that. I wouldn't even want to see Aaron subjected to that. That's how awful it is. I wouldn't want to see Ryder subjected to that. That's freedom for Bao now. Which reminds me, for the low, low price of $49.99, you too can have access to 8 emotes and membership perks at the Samsqwatch Transparency channel. You buy now. I wonder if that would stir him out of hibernation. Send a fitty over to the Badger's channel. The membership drive, maybe that'll wake him up from his slumber as he's currently hibernating under a pile of steamy, smelly ogre diapers. Because if there's a way, Bal will find a way. And a Samsqwatch Transparency membership train might be just the way to help him find a way. So. But that's enough speculating about stuff that's a bunch of YouTube drama. Potentially criminal drama. Who knows? It's just very intriguing. I did find it interesting that Secret Agent Scal was wrapped up right in the middle of it. She wasn't just a disinterested kind of onlooker trying to uncover truth. It seemed like she was a secret agent scaling all along. I got lots of weird stuff. Lots of weird stuff if you want to get into the writer corner of YouTube. Lots of drama to keep you going for a good long time. And I guess the unfortunate part is you have to endure Killamilla and generally specific. I guess the Tweekah crash out is somewhat entertainment worthy, but the Badger had a way of drawing out the tweakiness. He was a good catalyst. Not speaking of him in the past tense, as if some dire end has been his destiny, but yeah, Badger had a way about drawing out the full essence of the tweakiness, which is a service that is sorely required in this day and age for people of all ages, even boomers. But there you have it. I'll just be sitting around here up in Canada waiting for the boomers to all die off so that Gen X can arise and take our place as the indifferent, standoffish, cynical group that we are and not care what happens one way or the other. Anticipating the glorious rise of Generation Alpha as they release the full force of their hatred on an unsuspecting world. Lord have mercy on our souls. I think we'll pack it in for a Friday afternoon as it creeps into Friday evening. And so yeah, you let me know if there's any Badger sightings anytime soon. I'll be watching them YouTubes. I'll keep an eye out for you. If I hear anything, you'll be the first to know. And with that, I think we're gonna go about the business of digesting that Tweekah burrito and that coffee and that root beer. And so as always, stay tweaky and don't let the Chris Riders bite.